gathered here today, this morning, to demand that the Los Angeles Police Commission reject the proposed one-year pilot program by the Los Angeles Police Department to operate drones. The community has spoken loudly and clearly, but the Los Angeles Police Department keeps on dismissing and subverting community's arguments and community's concerns. This is nothing new. The LAPD first acquired drones 3 years ago in March of 2014 when the community rose up and demanded that the drones not be used. The drones were placed under a lock and key in the Inspector General's office, and as per community demands, they were ultimately destroyed. But in August of this year of 2017, the LAPD came back asking for a pilot program. Then they organized 4 community outreach meetings, all on the same day, all at the same time, without any notice to the community. But even in those 4 community meetings in Westwood, in Atwater Village, in San Pedro, and at other places, the community spoke out very strongly. But what also happened was that the LAPD completely dismissed the communities of South Central Los Angeles, Central Los Angeles, and East Los Angeles, communities who have historically been brutalized and stalked and targeted by the LAPD. The community keeps on speaking out. In addition to the community speaking out, we've gathered petitions. There's over 3,500 signatures that people have expressed their anger and rejection of the drone program. On top of that, just last week, on September 28th, the Civilian Oversight Commission of the LA Sheriff's Department voted calling upon the sheriff to permanently ground their drones. So they're listening to the community. That's exactly what we want the Los Angeles Police Commission to do today, to listen to the community and reject the use of drones.
The presentation of deployment guidelines by LAPD today signifies that once again that the community concerns and wishes of the community are not a priority for LAPD or the Police Commission. The drone-free LAPD No Drones LA campaign spent ample time in the community gathering the thoughts and sentiments of Angelenos regarding drone use by law enforcement. With 3,500 signatures, 200 surveys, and a community-based report declaring unequivocal no to drones. The Board of Police Commission is supposed to represent the voice of the people and represent our concerns, but these continued steps towards the launching of a pilot program, Angelenos can only start to question the legitimacy of oversight bodies. With the Sheriff's Civilian Oversight Commission voting to ground the drones, we see Sheriff McDonald negating the community's voice. With this police commission, we see a rubber stamp body greenlighting the use of drones by LAPD. What good is the oversight body if the voice of the public is not respected by law enforcement? I will close by saying that there is no trust that LAPD will not expand the purpose and use of drones. Weaponization of drones is a reality in North Dakota. Data collection and surveillance is a part of the changing nature of policing and police operations. We say no to drones. More weapons will not make us safe.
Okay. We as members of Black Lives Matter stand against the use of drones. We know drones will add further to the militarization of LAPD and continue to bring negative impact on our most vulnerable communities in LA, South Central, and East LA. The report on drones that's going before the commission today does not include community responses from the 4 public hearings that were held. Those hearings were held on August 23rd, and they were in Van Nuys, San Pedro, Westwood, and Atwood Village. Residents attending those hearings spoke overwhelmingly against drones, and a petition signed by 3,500 residents said no to drones. LAPD has shown they cannot be trusted. They failed to hold drone hearings in South Central LA, and East LA, intending to deny those most vulnerable communities any input. LAPD continues to lead the nation in the number of officer-involved killings. They continue to deny transparency and hold no officers accountable. The proposed drone policy falls right into the area of harming the communities they should be protecting. The LA Police Commission today must stand up for the people it's supposed to represent. The LA County Civilian Oversight Commission said no to drones. The LA City Commission must also say no as well and stop the rubber stamping of negative police policies. We say no to drones.
What's your name again?
Paula Minor.
This is the 50-year anniversary of SWAT, right? And SWAT was born out of those circumstances, right? Barricades, hostage situations. But in a recent audit of SWAT is actually not being used, right? The full-scale militarization of the police has not been used for those hostage situations. By and large, SWAT today is being used to serve warrants. 35% of those warrants are for non-violent drug crimes, right? And so we've been sold this idea that police need to be further militarized, right? 50 years ago with SWAT. We're saying today, we're not looking back 50 years. We're gonna say no drones today. We're gonna say we need to stop the full-scale, wholesale militarization of the Los Angeles Police Department. That experiment has failed. They need to listen to the community. The community has spoken loudly. No drones in Los Angeles.